Right on, right on. Hello. Today's date is, let's see, 12. This is the 14th, September 14th. I'm pretty sure I briefly talked about how I had my car messed up. I'll go into detail right now. Went over to Kevin's house one afternoon after work with 2 quarts of beer. Or, anyway, I went over there. I had a quart, or I bought a quart of beer. Drank that, went out and got another one, drank that, and had 2 bottles of beer. It was getting kind of late, a little bit late. So I went over to my friend Joe's house, and he had beer there. And I was drinking that, and plus somebody had some smoke, and we're smoking. And then I remember me and Joe went for a ride, for a cruise, and I let him drive my car. And I had to keep on looking at him to figure out who the hell it was that was driving my car with me, you know. Yeah, the voice wasn't enough. I was really messed up. Then I dropped him off at some time. I thought I heard somebody outside. I dropped him off sometime, or he drove back and I drove. I don't remember it though. And then I think I went cruising for a while, and I sideswiped the telephone pole on the side of a street, back road. I thought it was a tree. I thought it was a tree, right? Then I kept on driving and ran out of gas 2 blocks away from my house before I went home. So I had to leave the car in the street. It was like 2 in the morning. I left the car in the street because it was a slow road, you know, not a very trafficked area. And I went home, walked home, but don't remember it. Don't remember going to bed, but I got woken up around 5:30 in the morning. The cops were looking for me because they found the car. So my father drove me there. It's real hazy. I'm not exactly sure all of what happened. But my uncle was in the car, but I only know that in the back of my head. I don't remember him being there. And I think my brother might have been with me too in the car. They said that when I was trying to put my clothes on, I kept on falling on the floor. That's what said. And then when I got in my dad's car, I slipped off the back seat and sat on the floor or something. That's what they told me. I remember being at my car, and the cop was asking me if I had an accident, and I said yes, I hit a tree. And he said where, and I said about 2 hours ago, according to my brother. And then he said where, and I told him, I wasn't even sure where it was. I just said down that street. Turned out that I was right. What was it? I said it's a tree. And then my dad mad at me and everything, and I just started walking away. Left the cop and my father there in my car. Started walking away. About 10 minutes later, my father pulled up and he says, where are you going? I said, I'm going for a walk. And he grabbed me by the arm to pull me in the car. And I threw his hand off my arm, and I said, I'm going for a walk. And I took off. I kept walking. I turned around and came back. I was going to hitchhike to where Mitch lives. And I passed where my car was. The car wasn't there. My father had put gas in it and taken it back to my house. I didn't know this. I thought the police had towed it away, which is really what I would have preferred because it was my problem, you know. Anyway, my dad, so I went hitchhiking. Didn't get many rides because I probably looked like shit. I was still pretty drunk too. And got maybe not even a quarter of the way there, and then I hitchhiked back and went home, went to sleep. Turns out the cop gave me 4 tickets. I found out when I woke up, he gave me 4 tickets. And one was for a failure to report an accident, and the other was for leaving the scene of an accident. All right, each of those are 5 points. Each of those are a $100 fine, and each of those you need a court appearance. So right there, it's $200, 10 points. Talk to the judge, right? Now, first of all, I told him I hit a tree because I thought it was. I wasn't really sure what it was, but it was something on the side of the road. It was a back road. There's no houses there, and how could that be leaving? How could that be an accident? You sideswipe a tree. That's your own fault, isn't it? I mean, it's just stupidity on your own part, and you pay for it with the damage on your car, I figured. Well, anyway, so the cop called me up, and he goes, look, I don't want to give you all these tickets. You'll lose your license. Why don't you come into the station tonight at 10:30? We'll talk it over. And I said, yeah, that helped me out a lot because I'm going to the service, and this might keep me out. That's what got me off. I went to the police station. He had to know the name of the street, right, where the tree was. So I asked Kevin the name of this back road, and it turned out to be the right one, okay? And he thought it was named. I was asking him. It turned out that it was. Okay. Went to the police station and said it was a. And he was going, well, that's a different county, different township. And I said, no, it was. I'm almost positive. Then I showed him the map. I said, it's right here, I think. Then the one cop says, look, if he takes you down that street, can you show him where it is? And I said, yeah, I think so. I'm not sure if I can show him where the tree is, but I know where the street was. So the arresting officer, I got in the car and I was talking to him. He said, what service you going into? Navy? And I said, no, the Air Force. Told him I scored high in the test and all this, and going and going and going and bullshit with him. What kind of engine you got? Yeah, oh, really? This kind of stuff. And so we go down the road. I said, this is the road here. And I said, I'm not exactly sure where it was. And as we're driving down the road, I see on the opposite side a telephone pole with a piece of trimming laying beside it. I knew that's what it was. And the pole was slightly damaged, not very badly at all. And I said, okay, look, here's what I'll do. We'll say as you came over the bridge and you lost control and sideswiped that tree. I said, okay, great. And he goes, we'll also say that it was under $200 worth of damage. So the insurance company doesn't have to know, and the recruiter won't have to know either. And I said, great. And he goes, and I won't give you the I won't give you the failure to report an accident and leaving the scene of an accident. I'll void them out in court. I'll go to court myself. I don't want to mess you up with the service. I couldn't believe this guy. He was so great, So he gave me abandoning a vehicle, which is a $10 fine, no points, and careless driving, 2 points and $35. I got them paid already. Oh, man, and the guy was going like, I was going to give you everything I could when he walked away from me like that. He goes, I didn't know what to expect. I said, yeah, I was really pissed off. My father's mad, and like this, I just didn't know what to do. I thought you towed it away, so I just left. And he goes, yeah, well, you really got to me. And he goes, but now you seem like a really nice guy. And he goes, you were pretty drunk, weren't you? And I said, well, I was when I woke up, all right? I said, a lot of times when my father goes to bed, I'll drink his booze. And I said, and it was easy to do it that night. Which was true. A lot of times I do drink his booze when I go home, when he goes to sleep. And it was easy to do that night because my uncle was there and they were drinking. I didn't tell him that that's exactly what I did. I just said that a lot of times I do this. I left him the impression without having to lie to him, because I don't like lying too much. So he said, okay, and he let me go. And I shook his hand and said, thank you very much, and he was great, So then my dad, he took the coil wire out of my car because he said I left it in the road, I abandoned it. So he claimed it, and he said it was his. He took the coil wire out. So he hitchhiked to work for a couple of days, stayed sober, and eventually I got the car. 3 days later, got the car back. I've been slacking off on the drinking. I did drink a lot, not last night, the night before. I went to with a friend of mine, Richie. We were hanging out. I went over to his house, right? And it was like 4:30, and his wife said he should be home from work any minute. And he came home and said he had to go back to work. Took a shower real quick, ate, and took off. And when he left, I left. And out in the parking lot, he goes, let's get some beers and go to the lake. I said, oh, all right. He wasn't going to work at all. So we're hanging out on the lake. Nobody's there, nothing to do, Had a few beers, and I was kind of out of it. I didn't feel like drinking either. I told him about my car. And then we think we're driving, can't find this chick he's looking for. And finally we go, he goes, how about I said, yeah, man. He goes, are you serious right now? I said, yeah, let's go right now. And he goes, what about gas money? Can you give me some money? I said, I'll give you $5, So I gave him the money, and we took off. We got some beers. I said, now I'm drinking. I figured I'd be out late. Went to with him. And we met some friends of his in a bar first. We were shooting pool. And then we went out with a bunch of his friends and this guy, Albie, to this pier. There's a couple of girls there. This one guy happens to be his sister's boyfriend, was with his chick. He was there. And then Albie and his sister were there. And I think another girl, I didn't really talk to her. This other girl liked me. Her name was Janie. And Richie told me. And I started making out with her. Like at the end of the night, I was making out with her for like half hour straight, 45 minutes maybe. If we were alone, forget it. I would have fucked her, no problem. It would have been easy. And then I got her phone number. I tell her I'll come back Tuesday. And she's, do you have a girlfriend? I said, yeah. I thought she said, you have to get going. And she goes, do you have a girlfriend? I said, no, I don't have a girlfriend, but I have to get going. It was late. I told her I'd be back Tuesday. I got her number, but Richard didn't write it down. I thought he was. And, but the thing is, she does have a boyfriend. I said, do you have a boyfriend? She goes, not anymore. Well, Richie told me that the guy is a fighter. All right, this is the city. The guy's a fighter. And would probably kick my ass if he knew I was messing around with her. So that's a pain in the ass right there. So I'm wondering, is it worth it? I'm leaving in 2 months. Of course, I'm not seeing anybody, and I'd like to. Should I keep in touch with her? Should I call her up and go down there? Or, I'll probably call her tomorrow and make it for a different day. I'm not working this week. This is Monday. So far, they didn't call me back. But they knew Saturday that I wouldn't be working Monday. They might find out today if I should come in tomorrow. I hope they do, but I've been slacking off a bit lately. Especially Saturday. I haven't been able to sleep. I don't know why. It's like I know I have to get up early. And I'll be tired, But I lay in bed and go, I gotta go to sleep. I gotta wake up. When I have to go to sleep, I can't, And when I feel like, and then when Friday comes and like, all right, let's go out and party. I fall asleep, I get tired, and I fall asleep. Isn't that stupid? I can't figure that out. So anyway, I guess it's the natural rebel in me or something. Another thing too, me and Kevin and this guy Danny, and Danny and Kevin lift weights together in this gym, and I was lifting with them for a little while, but they lift heavier than me and faster and harder. They want to be a competition bodybuilder, and I just want to get in shape. So I stopped, but anyway, the three of us hung out at the mall looking for girls once, because Danny he can approach girls. And he talked to this one girl, got a number, and after that, he was talking to this other girl, and I walked up and said, "Hey, so what's up?" And I started talking to her, and they walked away. I talked to her for 5 minutes or so. She's kind of cute. I said, "Where do you work?" And she said, "In the mall." I said, "Oh, all right, catch you later." So, I might pop in sometime and ask her out. But as I walked away, then I looked and I saw her walking towards this guy. She said she was waiting for a ride. And her and this guy walked away, not arm in arm. They didn't kiss or anything. It might have been a brother. I don't know. Then again, I saw this other old girlfriend of mine, Belinda, in the store the other day. I was thinking about going back there and, seeing if she had a boyfriend a few months ago. I saw them together. But I don't know if she does it anymore, so I was thinking about asking her and seeing if she wanted to go out somewhere. Let's see. Alright, so since this accident, I've only been a little bit drunk twice. The one time the last recording, as a matter of fact, I had drank some tequila, some Seagrams, and some beer. Enough to get me going. And, like when I talk on the tape, I sound pretty sober, I didn't sound that bad. But I don't know, my parents get really flipped out. I think the best thing for me with the service is getting out of the house. Get away from my parents. It's gotta have a damaging effect. When you come to a certain age and you still stay home with overprotective or dominant parents, very strict parents, I think if you stick with them, then you're gonna lose your own self under their rule, I know I feel this way. They scare me. And I don't know why. I'm not afraid of being beaten up. I'm not afraid of being thrown out, really. I'm just afraid of upsetting them, They don't see things the way I do. I don't think there's anything wrong with going out and having some drinks and having a good time. It's only when I get high, when I'm drunk, that I mess things up. I rarely get drunk, Anyway. So that's good. I'll be getting out soon, in 2 months. That'll be nice. Today I'm really bored. It's like, there's nothing to do here. Everybody's gone. Car's out front, so out with her someplace. A friend of ours. His, really. My parents are working. In school, I guess. Went over to Kevin's house. He's working, but I thought his brother would be there, and I think his brother was in the bathroom, because his father's car was there, and Terry's been driving his father's car since his dad's gone. And you could see the tools where he's working on his own car, and his father's car was there, so he's probably in the bathroom or something, maybe jerking off, I don't know. Oh, by the way, I jerk off. I've never said that. I mean, everybody does. I just thought I'd, put it down here one of these days. So, I came back here, called up Richie. Richie was on lunch. I think I'll hang out with him later on. And either I'll probably go to 4:30 when he's off, and then over to at 6 and see what Mitch is doing when he's off. Sometimes, things really... I like to have people around. I don't like being alone, really. I mean, like when I'm with people, I say, I'm going to go home. I'll look forward to... If I'm at a party or with some people or something, I'll go, yeah, that'd be nice. I'm going to go home and do some reading. Then I get home, and being alone doesn't turn me on. I don't like being alone. I'd rather be with people, because I was never with people when I was a kid, when I was younger. 13, I was real insecure, very, very introverted. All I did was I came home, went in my room, watched TV, read, did whatever. But I was afraid of people. And I'm getting better now. A lot better now. Ever since I started doing theater in junior year of high school. Started coming into my own. And it's still going pretty good. But the feeling is still there, that sort of fear of people or something. I don't know. I've been reading I read the Bible last night. And Kevin, has been reading it, and we talked a lot about it. And I sort of knew this would happen sooner or later. I'm really starting to think about it a lot and seeing how much I do sin, and then also seeing how almost inevitable it is for people to sin, especially today, man. I read a thing, syphilis, the cases of syphilis have risen like 33% in the last couple of years, almost doubled, No, I guess 100% increase would be doubled. So it's gone up about, well, 33% anyway. So promiscuous people, I mean, with the pill, people started screwing around all over the place. I find that sex means more to me than it does to a lot of chicks I know. Because when I sleep with somebody, I consider that making love to somebody. Usually, you know, if it's somebody I like. And I try not to go to bed with dogs because, like, somebody you don't like, you go to bed with them just because you're horny, then all of a sudden you say, well, why'd I do that? And it's stupid, you know? And you can't get rid of the girl. But somebody I like, a girl I like to go out with, and if she's easy, or if I go to bed with her, you know, then I'd like there to be more. I'd like it to be a relationship. A lot of girls think it's crazy that I sort of like fall in love when I make love. They don't understand that. To them, it's just sex. To me, it's making love. So I'm looking for the right girl. I mean, my wife doesn't have to be a virgin, but she has to realize that she has to only have sex when she feels that she's in love. You know? Let's see. So I'm really bored. I'm not working today. I got a quart of beer just out of boredom. And the sort of depressed way I get when there's nobody around to hang out with. Quart of beer is about the same as 3 beers. It's no big deal. See, there's a sin right there. You're supposed to obey your parents, right? And they don't want me drinking. They don't want me smoking. They don't want me doing anything. They don't want me fooling around. They don't want me jerking off. They don't want me doing anything, right? Getting high, forget it. It's no good. But I gotta, you know, I'm a person. I mean, I've gotta do things myself to find out that they're wrong. I can't have somebody tell me they're wrong and then I go, oh, okay, then I won't do it. See, I've got to see for myself. I'm kind of stubborn that way. I don't like getting high very much anymore, smoking pot. I do when it's around, but I really don't enjoy it. It's a stupid high. I don't go looking for crank anymore, but if it's offered to me, I'll do a line, you know, because I enjoy it. A little bit's not too bad. Acid. Now, I wonder if it's good or bad for you. I've tripped about, I think about 30 times. Now, I don't think it's all that bad, really. It hasn't left any long-lasting effects. Sometimes I feel depressed, and I think maybe it's because I've done acid. But I was even more depressed when I was a younger kid. Really insecure, you know? So I don't know. But I try to take it easy with that. I don't do it all the time. What other drugs? I like to drink, but even that's gotten out of hand before, so I try to keep it cool. And I try to be careful when I'm drinking. And I don't like to get total. Like, I don't like anything that's gonna make me unable to function, you know? Like, that's what pot does to me. It makes me feel stupid. That's what being overly drunk will do, and I don't like to get real drunk. I don't like to be out of it that much. Let me see if I'm gonna find something on the TV here. This is my companion today, is the TV and this tape recorder. I'm bored. Okay, here's the movie channel. And it's a Walt Disney thing, but I saw part of it. It looks pretty good. I'll see what's on Prism. This thing, whatever this is. It looked like they were gonna get down, so even though I like it, but I don't think it's right, so. Oh, I saw Raiders of the Lost Ark last night with Kevin. It was pretty good, you know? Very well done. The guy, his name is Harrison Ford, I think. He was in Star Wars as Han Solo or something. He's a good actor. He sort of looks like I think. And it's amazing that I still like him. The actor. But it was good. It was really good. It had a religious theme to it, which I enjoyed, you know, because I'm thinking about religion a lot lately. There's one curse I will not use, is GD. To me, that's the only real curse. Fuck, shit, you know, bitch, asshole. Those are sounds that men decided, okay, with our mouth we make a sound, or come here, whatever, you make sounds with your mouth. We decided that, alright, the sound, so we can make a sound and it goes like this. The sound is fuck. Alright, well, okay, here we got this sound we can make. We'll make that a word, and we'll say that word is, okay, it means sex, which is dirty, but it's also more than sex, it's going to be the worst word you can say. Alright, men decided this, so all of a sudden this sound is now going to be a bad sound. If somebody says this sound towards you, you should be offended. Bullshit. Alright, these are just words that we've made up to, you know, for our own enjoyment, really. Or disenjoyment, as the case may be. But GD, alright? Now, there you're taking God, you're pulling God into it. You're saying one of these curses that we made up with his name, okay? You're cursing him. That is a curse. That's a real curse. When you say anything bad about him, that's what you gotta look out for. You can't say that. And that's the word I hear most often, GD. Which tells you a lot about the way people are, right? I try to avoid that. I don't think fuck, shit, all that other stuff means anything. That's nothing. That's really not bad. Only if you think it's bad, it's bad. But if you use that with connotation with God's name, all right, you got to worry about God, not other people. Kevin was saying in the Bible, God said, "Do not fear the man who will come into your house, steal your possessions, rape you, or murder you. Do not fear him. Instead, fear me." In other words, that's nothing. This whole life is a testing period. When you die, you go to heaven or hell, whatever, you get judged. And that's when you better be scared, man, because you don't fool around with him. He gets pissed off when you do wrong, you know. I committed adultery once, I think maybe twice. And I'm not pleased about that at all. I don't even like taking a girl away from her boyfriend, which is what it seems like I'm doing. I really shouldn't even, I should just forget about it. But I'm thinking she's listening to which would be good. I won't see her all the time, which means I won't get all weirded, you know, like I get with some relationships. I'll have my own free space. I'll have my own time, you know, for my friends in here. And I can see her like maybe once a week or whatever, on weekends or whatever. As long as her boyfriend don't give me a hard time. I mean, she said she was going to break up with him. I don't know. So, I had a good time there. Richie has some pretty good friends. We were on the pier, you know, as we went to the pier, this cop was coming out in his car, and he stopped. Richie's friends were in front of us, and he stopped them, and then he talked to us, and he goes, "What are you doing?" And Richie goes, "We're going to fish." And he goes, "All right, but if I see you not fishing and I'm coming back, then I'm throwing you out." And so we pulled up, and we told that to Richie's friend. They had kicked Richie's friend out, but we said, no, we told him we're going to go fishing. Just say you're with us, you know. So Richie had 2 poles. We set him up like we were fishing. And we partied for about half hour or so, drinking, you know. And the cop came back, and everybody goes, whoops, you know, and he talked to him in the water, in the pier, you know, the beers, right? And then he came to me, and he goes, "Throw it over." And I said, "Well, I'm of age. I'm 21. Or I'm 22. I'm almost 22. And he goes, and he looked at me. Oh, and then he gave me this look. And Richie and his friends are going, "Just throw it over. Just throw it." So I threw it, you know. Then when the cop left, he kicked us out and he left. And I said, "Look, you don't talk to them cops like this. Not here. They'll lock you up in a second without thinking twice." In a way, it's funny. I almost got arrested, you know. Anyway, so I'm going to the service soon. I hope it's going to be good. I know I'm going to hate boot camp, but I'm so ready for it. I've heard all the stories. Maybe I'm not going to hate it that bad. I'm hoping that I'll probably be older than most of the guys, all right, who are maybe 18, 19 on the average. I'm going to be 22. I'm hoping I'm a little bit older and that I can be like the leader, like where they break down. I'm hoping I'll be strong enough not to break down and to be the guiding force to just say, look, don't worry about it. It's their job to make us feel like shit. They got to show us their boss. Just hang in there. Wait till boot camp is over. It'll be better. I'm hoping, you know, that this will happen, that I can be that strong. Anyways, I've been thinking about that a lot. It's gonna be hard to be religious because the whole thing is geared. The military is geared towards fighting. You know, not so much the Air Force, from what I understand, but still enough. I just hope I can keep the faith. I was reading part of Revelations. It's very confusing. A lot of analogies, symbols, and you can't understand what he's trying to say. I haven't finished it. I just read about for 45 minutes last night. I'm gonna read it again. I'm gonna finish it anyway. Well, look, I'm bored, you know. I'm gonna get some more beer. Hold on a second. With people, you know, friends and whatnot, so you're supposed to talk to your fellow man as you would Christ. Christ is in all of us, and treat him. He goes, whatever you do to the least of my brothers, that you do unto me, right? Now, as far as people that not of my family, I can do that. I can treat them as I would Christ. But people I live with, that I'm around all the time, like especially my parents, okay, or my family, I get ticked off every now and then, and I explode, and I act like a real non-Christian. I mean, I beat up my brother almost the other day, a few weeks ago. I was about to kick the shit out of him. I push him, throwing him around, you know. Too, all right? I snap. That's not right. I think that deep down means that I'm violent, you know, and which ain't good. And I don't know. I just hope I'm not like that, really. I hope I can change. I think I know one thing. I'm positive I know one thing. I'm a Christian, and see, I don't know if I'm a good enough Christian. I don't know if when I'm dead, I'll go to heaven or not. But I just hope that if somebody's holding a gun to my head and they say, tell me you're not a Christian, I'll blow your head off, I just hope I keep on saying that I'm a Christian and that God will save me for saying that. Of course, you don't know. It's hard to tell. The Bible says you can't, it's a sin to kill somebody, right? I asked my dad, I said, well, when you're in war, in the service, and you're on the front line, and you're faced with they kill you or you kill them, all right? And you're supposed to kill him, you're supposed to shoot him. Is that okay by God? And he goes, I think in a situation of war, it's okay, that he'll forgive you. And I think, no fucking way, man, it just ain't right. Turn the other cheek. I mean, let him do what he's gonna do. Don't worry about him, worry about God. In other words, let that guy kill you, but don't you dare try to kill him. And God he'll look good on you. I hope. I asked, like, my friends think I'm a really good Christian. Of course, they don't live with me. When people bother me, my parents bother me, they won't accept me, they won't leave me alone. My brothers, they take my money, they come into my room all the time, my underwear, my socks. That ticks me off. I heard give my grandmother Nana a hard time one morning, saying, well, I'll drive you all over the damn place and mail your damn letters or something like that. And, like, he's really getting down on her. That's when I woke up, almost beat the shit out of him. I was mad at him anyway. I was over this. She used to give me her apartment, right, when she would go for weekends. And she had a party over her house one night that I was invited to, and they were showing all these porno movies, cheap porno things. I ended up drinking and getting horny, and I've slept with her 2 or 3 times. And oh, she's such a dog. She's fat and ugly. She's like 32 too. I started making out with her and, like, feeling her up and all this shit. And this guy Jimmy that likes her was gonna be coming over later, and she said we couldn't tonight, come back during the week. And I knew once I was sober I wasn't gonna want to. I just said no. And so I never made it with her. But everybody saw me making out with her, and, like, oh man, now I'm embarrassed, I like drinking because it breaks down the barrier. It lets you sin. And you think you have an excuse because you're drunk. Though it's not really an excuse. But I like it because it's easier. First of all, I talk a lot easier when I'm drinking. It loosens up my mouth and I talk freely and easier without so much introspection, And for that reason, it's alright. But then you start doing other things. You get horny, you start getting fucked, and God don't like that. So far, I haven't done too much of a sinful thing with this girl. All I did was make out with her and fill her up. Her brother, Albie, was there too. He was getting pissed off. It was really weird. Okay, Richie's sister's boyfriend was there with us, with another girl. I'm making out with this one chick, and her brother was there and getting real upset. And also, this girl had a boyfriend. Her boyfriend's brother was there, and I was talking to him for a long time. All these people, like, they all mixed together, it's funny. So and I made a hell of an impression for the first meeting with these people. They're not gonna forget me, especially my name. It took this chick, when she was asking me what my name was, it took like 5 minutes till she could say. Then she goes, I was like, and I said, just call me Mike. And then she finally got it down. Then she goes, what's your first name? I said, that is my first name. My last name is. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go back and hang out with her. I like her, man. She was alright. There's one thing I like about the city is that there's something to do. You can always party there. You can always hang out with a bunch of people and drink and have a good time. But there's also a lot of fighting. I read a psychological report once where they took mice or rats or something and they stuck them in overcrowded conditions. And the mice started getting very violent, fighting each other, killing each other, right? The same thing happens in the city. You put a lot of people in too small of a space and they get very violent, which is the way city life is. So even though it's good because there's always somebody around, you can hang out, you also gotta look out because people are gonna start getting mad and they're gonna start fighting. And I don't like fighting. It's not right to fight. I mean, I'm working out. I could probably handle myself, you know. First of all, I don't really know how to throw a punch either. But I could probably handle myself if I had to, if I didn't lose my cool. But I don't think it's right. And if somebody hits you and you don't do anything and let him beat you up, because that's the way God wants it, people are gonna call you a jerk and they're gonna go, "What the hell's wrong with him?" You know. Well, I was making out with this girl. I was leaning against the car and she was like leaning on me in front of me, making out with me, and I lost my balance and I just slid down the car and fell on the ground. She said, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm going, "He kissed me off my feet and all this stuff." Somebody handed me my hat. I didn't even know I was wearing a hat. And then they handed it to me. I said, "Oh," put it back on. Within 5 minutes, I was making out with her again. They were all right. But they always talk about this person was fighting, that person was fighting, you know. Let's see. Gotta do something today. I'm so bored. I just want to be with people. I'm not, you know, one thing I know about me is I'm never satisfied. Whenever I get what I think I want, all of a sudden I want more. That's a pain in the ass. I gotta work on that and try to be happy with the way things are. Actually, I think I'm not really pleased with myself. People tell me you're good looking, and I know I'm good looking. All right, I have a nice looking face. I'm no Robert Redford, but I'm good looking. I think I have above average looks. I'm good looking. I'm cute. People tell me that. I do theater. You know, I've got some talent in theater. I'm intelligent to a certain degree. I've got everything going for me. I live in a nice house. My parents have money. I'm comfortable. I'm not happy though. I'm not happy with myself. I don't know why. I'm just not. I read a thing about drinking. They said that's why people drink and get high, because they always think that other people are better than them. That's the way people are. Human function. They never think that they're as good as other people. So they do other things. They do drugs and they drink so that they feel as good or better than other people. Maybe that's why I do it. Because I like drinking. It makes me feel good. The way I should be, you know? One thing's funny, like if I'm with some guys drinking, you know, then I don't worry if I slur my words a bit. In other words, like, it doesn't bother me if I come across drunk. Therefore, I don't. If I have 2 beers and I come home, I'm real self-conscious. Making sure I walk okay, talk all right. That's when I mess up, because I try so hard to act right. It's hard for me to relax around my parents because I do things they don't like. You know, on these tapes, I mostly talk about drinking, girls, drugs. I mean, what do I really... I sort of go in circles, don't I? Talk about the same thing all the time. But I'm leaving I'm leaving part of me. I'm talking on these things. I'm freezing time. I'm storing time. So later I can listen to it. When I'm old, I'll say, I wasted my youth. Well, I'm wasting my youth because I don't know how else to live it, you know? Well, that's about enough, I guess. I've been talking for a while.